Hey everybody, it's Ronn Grant, and you're watching Just for the Record. Stay tuned, you're watching 284 Media. Get online today with CCT Go Fast LTE. Simply select from any one of our Go Fast LTE plan options. Each plan offers unlimited wireless residential internet and are priced to suit your budget and required data speed. Stop by any one of our locations and speak with one of our representatives. And get online with Go Fast LTE, the BVI's preferred choice for reliability, speed, and affordability. CCT Life Unlimited. Andrew A. Fahie, welcome to Just for the Record.
All right, thank you. Nice to be here.
No stranger to politics or people. You've been serving as an elected official. 2019 is going to make 20 years, correct?
Right.
20 years that you've been serving. A former teacher. A young lady said he was the best maths teacher I've ever had. Ardent Methodist member and organist. Some say you are easy to talk to and accessible. No, in hindsight, you have those who question whether or not you can be trusted as the leader of this country. One middle-aged man in Carrot Bay I had a conversation with said, Andrew is a shady man and hides very well. He cannot be trusted. Another said, since he has been there, he hasn't done anything to prepare himself to be premier other than hold a seat. Now, Honorable Fahie, these are not my words. These are the words of persons that I've spoken to in the community. When you hear these claims from some members of your constituents and others who feel as though you're not trustworthy or your character is questionable, first of all, how does that make you feel and what do you say to that?
It don't make me feel anyway.
Really?
Because I never let anyone's opinion of me become a reality. And if you poll 100 people, for anyone that's in leadership, you'll always find a percentage that question their character. But the majority of them will be able to testify that I've been consistently consistent in being trustworthy, in my marriage, in the way I raised my children, in the way I did business, and in the politics. There'll always be some questions with how you handle certain matters. But at the end of the day, the majority of persons will always say that they can trust Fahie, they can depend on Fahie, and they know that he's going to make the best interest and best decision in everybody's interest, most persons' interest. So that doesn't bother me. I don't let people brand me, and I don't carry around the brand.
All right. I'm happy to hear that. Now, let's get into the meat of it. If your party, for whatever reason, comes up short in the next general elections, are you willing to form a coalition? And does that coalition mean that you must be the premier?
Well, it's a difficult question, and I would say that I answer it like this. When that comes, we cross that bridge. Right now, my full attention is to sell the programs that the Virginians Party is selling. And I know that we have good candidates and see if we can bring them to the people that our group make it in as a group.
Okay.
If not, then whatever is in the best interest of the people, you have to continue to do because the election is over.
In hindsight as well, if it is the people's wish that you not be named premier, would you forgo that position?
Well, if my party wins, well, then automatically you are premier. If you have a coalition and it's something that the majority say that they don't want, well, you can't fight the majority.
Okay.
You just solve wherever you can solve. This is about service. So once you get elected and you understand that, then the rest is just gravy.
What have you learned in the past 20 years of being in office?
I've learned a lot. As I said before, I've learned never let people's opinion of you become a reality. I've learned to make sure that you do whatever is right. I've learned that the true power in politics is the people. I've learned how to stay true to God because over the years, a lot of things has happened and help mature me as a person, as a leader, as a family man, being shot once, losing 5 children before you could get 2, and they tried to destroy me politically with a political stunt. I didn't take those things as negatives. I use those things to help build me up to realize that something that I already know. Everyone is born for a purpose. You have to pray to God and find what that purpose is and fulfill it because the earth is waiting on you to fulfill your purpose. So your purpose is not attached to people, although you need them. But you make sure you attach yourself to the purpose. So even when someone goes offline, the purpose is still there waiting for them to come back to it. And generations unborn is waiting on you to fulfill it.
No, you just mentioned some of the challenges, both personal and public. Those are heartbreaking. I mean, for anyone to go through some of those experiences, it's just tough. It's tough on a marriage. It's tough on an individual. How did you and your family continue to push through and just keep doing what you're doing?
Well, I learned my faith is a Christianity-based faith. and I've learned how to trust God more. And I learned that God is only true judge. So I don't judge people. I give everyone a fair chance to prove themselves. You live in a small community, so persons think that they know you because they see you, but that's not true. You have to get to know the person. I feel that we have some of the best persons in the world here, from musicians to yourself in your profession, but a lot of them are not performing in their giftedness. So because they're not performing their giftedness, we only see them for who they are. So I've learned how to bring out the giftedness in persons so that they could excel to their fullest extent.
Bringing out the best in every individual.
Yes.
All right. Do you feel as though you and the Honorable Julian Fraser, for whatever reason, were not able to come together or to stay together as a team? Do you feel like as though this sends a negative message to the young people in reference to working together? Because we hear a lot of people preach about forgive and forget, move forward, come together to help the community. But obviously you two weren't necessarily able to come together and work together. How do you think what tone do you think that sets with the young people?
Well, first of all, I don't have anything with Honorable Fraser. We had a democratic process for chairmanship. He won it the first time, and I worked with him. The second time I won it, and he made his own decision. The party made attempts to bring us together, and I agreed, but it never happened because he didn't come forward to allow them to happen. I don't see it as a negative towards the young people because this is nothing new. Paul and Barnabas was in the Bible, and they were two saved men, but their methodologies and the way they were going about things was not in concert, so they went different ways. In the end, they did get back together and they still did great things, but they were able to find themselves when they went different ways. It is not a matter of that you cannot work with someone. Whenever you take over something new, there's always going to be a transition period between the persons that prefer the style of the person that was there before and those that are going to prefer your style. Right. You have to find the best way to bring all of them along. But the truth of the matter is that you'll never be able to bring everyone along at that point. Some you'll go back for, and some will never come on board. But to be fair to all those, no matter whether they are there with you or not, and that's what I've learned. So I have no animosity towards it. The Voisinance Party has rebounded tremendously well through thick and thin. You just have to keep looking at who is the next rising star, and what next is out there. So that's how I live my life. I look for what's next out there. Who is the next Ronn Grant? Who is the next Lorna Smith in financial services? Who's the next? Because there's always a next, but we get tied to what is rather than what will be. All
right. We have a number of new parties, two in particular. And the leaders of some of those parties have been labeled. One is labeled the local leader or for the local people, while the other is named one more for the expats. What kind of leader would Andrew Fahie be?
The one that brings both together. I don't believe in discrimination. I know that in any country you have to look out for your people. You have to be fair to persons who are living among you. And the truth of the matter is the BVI is made up of a lot of persons that came from the Caribbean islands that stayed here and helped build it when a lot of Virgin Islanders went abroad for life abroad. So it was a balance. I never experienced this division that I'm seeing before.
Okay.
So my intention as a leader is to kill the animosity that's going on and bring us together. We have a lot of programs that would allow that to happen. For example, this government now is doing investment, citizenship by investment. But what happened to those persons who come from the Caribbean islands who have to wait 20 years? The best way to do is let them do skills for citizenship on public projects, since they don't have the money, but they have the skills. So we could speed up the time frame when they're going to get their citizenship by working on government projects or community events that would allow them to get credit for help building the country and be able to get their citizenship much sooner. Because I'm against persons living here for 20 years or more and do not have anything to show for it. That is wrong.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, which is just for the record, we'll be right back with Andrew A. Fahie.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, Our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Hello?
Wait, you're the lounge and you don't say you were sick? What happened to over the rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. No, you just spoke about, and I'm paraphrasing, more inclusion. There's no more of the separation, one's local, one's expats. The Smith administration in 2007 made some amendment to legislation, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's the grandfather clause. And from my understanding of that, at the time in 2007, if you were not 21 years or older at that time, moving forward, if you're born in the BVI but are not born to BVI parents, meaning both your parents are not from the BVI, you are actually ineligible to run for public office. Now, I take personal offense to that, and I'll tell you why. I think it's rather disrespectful for someone to be born in a country and not given the option, if they wanted to run for public office. What message, and I understand persons who say this was done in an effort to protect locals, but there are ways to do that. What do you think that very blatant move says to persons in the community? And if elected, you can't just go in and switch legislation. We have constitutional reviews. There's a way it goes about. Right. But as a leader, what would you do moving forward to reassure and to clear up the misconception that has been set by this, that you don't belong?
Well, let me carry you back just a little tad. When that constitutional review came about, it was, I remember Honorable Vanderpool was over by us. When he was over in the NDP, it was not a problem. But when he came by us and the time was coming to looking about the re-election, is when that became an issue.
Okay.
So I will say for you for this, what start wrong cannot end right. So I was not part of that constitutional review team because that was done in the 2007 constitutional review. And my argument to them is that we're going to leave out some of the greatest minds if we go and do that. So I was not selected as part of the team. I knew at some point that it will come back to be an issue, and it is here now. Those call for constitutional reviews. And we have to, one of the objectives of the Ordinance Party is to call for constitutional review. We have to find ways to unite our people, and there are many ways for us to do it. If this continues now the way it's going, especially with how this election is going, it will cause a divide that will not help the country. Because right now, people unite because they have the same cause, but after that, there'll still be the problem right there.
Correct.
So we have to find a way now to unite the people, and we have some ideas of how we're going to go about it. But you cannot help people if you don't love people. If you love people, you'll always find a way to bring love. So that's the basis I operate from, love.
What separates the Virgin Islands Party from all the rest? Why should the people elect, whether in the districts and at large, the Virgin Islands Party?
Because the principles that we were formed on was always, from 1971, been by the people, for the people, of the people. How do we listen to your views and incorporate what you're saying and turn it into law or policies to help you? Most of the problems that we have now is that our people have lost hope because a lot of the policies do not involve the people. A lot of the policies do not help the people. A lot of the policies don't even take into account what the people are saying. But the Virgin Islands Party has always been a people-based party. For example, one of the areas I'll explain and for the youth is land ownership, house ownership. One of the programs we have is a land bank for every single district. Again, if you can't afford to purchase it, we have also for you to give your skills. And your skills goes towards payment, not monetary, but the time in which you work. Those hours is equated into the money, but that the government takes that in account because they won't give you the cash, but they credit it towards you getting your land. We have to look at the issues that germane to the people of the Virgin Islands, even the monies that we're spending in recovery. We cannot take all of that and build buildings. We have to take at least 100 million of that and do at least 5 new industries, where even if not new, some are existing industries, dealing with the training, dealing with the equipment needed for people to be involved so that this time around, all people drive the economy and not the economy drive the people. The last thing I'll say for them, despite all said and done, I've been consistent. Most people in the Virgin Islands Party have been consistent. In my district, I run after school programs, not just now. I run senior programs, not just now. I run programs with the youth all the time, not just now. Sponsorship to help them to finish school, because once you educate a man, not give him education, once you educate a man, he'll be able to fend for life. So those are areas that I know I've been consistently consistent with. And the Bible says if you do small things well, you'll do big things well. All
right. Accountability, transparency, honesty. How have you exemplified some of these traits?
Very simple. In leadership, every facet of your life must demonstrate that. No one is perfect, but you have to strive for perfection. And I tell persons that when it comes to the Virgin Islands Party, we made some mistakes in the past. But I also know that the one thing to get our economy and country back up and running is to restore accountability, transparency, and good governance. If that is lost, no matter what you do, that will not be able to, nothing will be able to push the economy. We have had a lot of instances, especially with the accounts where they have not been audited. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me what we're doing this year if we don't know what the balances were from last year or the year before and the year before that. Dated. And yes, so with that now, we have fallen off on that. So we must pay attention to that. But it's not only about the accounts, it's about your life. I can't tell a man do what I say and I'm not doing it. The young people don't believe in that anymore. They have to show by example. And I tell persons that I try to do it with the way I deal with my children, the way I deal with my business, the way I deal with my mother, the way I deal with my marriage. It has to be consistent. Because if you're doing small things well, and if you're doing things that people are not watching well, when the time comes to do the things that they are watching, you're going to do it well. And I am glad of how I matured. I wouldn't change my life for a thing. Everything that happened made me to be who I am.
No regrets? Wouldn't change a thing?
No regrets. There are things that you felt would do a little better, but every experience in life, once you have wisdom with it, teaches you how to be better. And everyone is born for a purpose. So once you understand that purpose and you get to fulfill it, then you live a fruitful life. For me, I deal with people out of love because that's who I am. How do you unite a territory? How do you make it better? How do you make the people better? How do you make the economy better? I see those things as positive challenges. So it's not a job for me. It's just life.
All right. Let's play a game, Honorable Fahie.
Okay.
And some persons have had a difficult time. I don't know if my guests enjoy this section, but I actually do. This is what I like to call, I bet they didn't know. So I'm going to ask you some impromptu questions, and you're going to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Characteristics you most value, or characteristic rather, you value most in people?
Pure heart.
A pure heart. If you could take one person from VI history yesteryear to lunch, who would it be?
If we could take one?
One person to lunch.
No lie.
Okay. Best part or best perk, if there are any, to being a minister of government?
The best perk?
Yeah.
Getting to meet more people.
Okay. Music we'd be surprised to know you listen to?
Rap.
Really?
Yep.
Tell me some.
Well, I can't rap. I listen to it.
But you do listen to it?
Well, I have teenagers. I don't have choices.
Okay. Mine's is country. Love country music.
Okay, good. That's good. Yeah. Willie Nelson is good.
If not politics, what else would you be doing?
If not politics, I'll be doing business, or I'll go back to teaching. I love teaching.
Okay. Superpower you wish you had.
I don't really look at it that way because once you have God, you have superpower.
You have superpowers?
Yeah.
All right. Biggest pet peeve?
Uh,
What annoys you? Just what really gets under your skin?
when I see people not fulfilling purpose, that gets under my skin.
Yeah, that upsets you to see
Yeah.
people just not doing what they're supposed to
Because
do.
everyone has a purpose.
Okay.
There's no wasted person.
Childhood or celebrity crush?
Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Guilty pleasure, something you just enjoy.
Well, it's not illegal, it's not bad, but most people know I have a habit that they don't like, but I like it. I can't say what it is, but it's not illegal.
Interesting. I'm gonna scratch my head for
Yeah.
that one. All right. Well, cool, man. Thank you so much. Just for the
Well,
record.
thank you. Proud of you. Keep up
Thank
the good work.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.